Alright, hello guys, I'm doing another video today. This is TechWave Reviews, and I'm going to be reviewing the Blackmagic Tire Wet Gel. Now, I'm going to go ahead and open this, and you guys will see that this product been getting used. By the top of it here. You know, you can even see the little applicator sponge. Looks kind of wore out. I'm going to set it face down on that part. That's what I grab, not what's going on my tire. Like it really matters because it's the tire. But anyway, yeah, do a little unboxing. There it is, guys. There's the gel. That's the box for it. Give me 1 second. Whew. Yeah, guys, I done washed the car, made a video of that. I done reviewed the power wash. Like I did a lot of little different things today, man. I'm trying to rock them videos out. But get my little towel. I'm sitting my butt down. I'm tired. Phew. I'm tired. But all right, here we go. We back in action. Tire wet gel. Now, as you can see, that's been used, guys. It's like, what, half a bottle gone. 16 fluid ounces, half bottle. I'll go ahead and let you guys know right now. This was like the very first car care product I ever purchased. Was this. And I've had this bottle for like 2.5, 3 years, maybe a year or two. I've had it for a while, and you can still see how much I have. Now, it claims it lasts up to 8 weeks. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know right now, this stuff don't last up to no 8 weeks. It don't last up to no 8 weeks. Don't listen to that. It will last maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and I guess you could say that all depends really on what driving conditions you in. I have a beach nearby, so when I drive, how I'm headed to work or whatnot, I'm getting sand blown all up on these tires. So this is a gel, so it's gonna stick. It's going, it's a gel. Tire and sand and dirt stuff is all gonna be all up in it. Not gonna look too good. And that might just be because of that, if you live in a, more of a city and urban area, there's not too many dirt roads and, sandy beaches and things like that. This product might actually get you that good 8-week shine. I could see it doing that, but for me, I get about 2, maybe 3 weeks out of it. And I tried the Turtle Wax. It lasted about a week, maybe 2. I'm not too fond of it. It doesn't leave much of a shine. You can see that it makes the tire look blacker, but it doesn't give it a, wet black look. It gives it a black look. Now, I'm pretty sure, that lasts up to 8 weeks is if this was a show car. Like, if you put this on there and it sat in the display room at a car dealership, this would probably last that 8 weeks. It probably would get that. Wouldn't dry out, would last. I'm pretty sure if that's what it was, it would do that. But that's not what my application is. Isn't that what my use is? That isn't where mine goes. Mine, this is a daily driver car I kind of take care of good. So, I'm going to go ahead, show all you really need to do. Pop open the lid there. And I'll tell you guys, I love the smell of this stuff. It smells like cherries. All you do is kind of just drizzle it on there. You want just a little streak back and forth. Get you good little bit on there, and bam, just like that. Not even an ounce. Not even an ounce of product on there. And, I mean, guys, that smell, man, I love it. What you do, you kind of glow it on there, and boom, see that? See the difference? See that difference right there? That's a wet black look. That's the wet black activate. That's what I went for when I'm buying tire shines. I want it to look wet. I want it to look like I just drove through a hurricane, a tsunami. You know, my tires been submerged and they wet. So, you know, I put that layer on there. Now, you know, what the directions say and what I do, two different things. So I ain't even gonna read the directions to you. Well, yeah, I will. I'll read the directions because I know some of y'all about the directions. But what it says, as we can all see here, clean and thoroughly dry. I've done that. I cleaned them, thoroughly dried it. You know, all 4 tires are done, and you get it to where, you know, you can do that and barely nothing comes off. As you can see, it ain't too clean because of that streak, and that's probably because, you know, I just washed them with like turtle wax, and I guess the turtle wax will wash and whatever, and I guess they actually had wax in it, so there's a small layer of wax on these tires. Oh man, all my stuff getting low, so I'm gonna hurry this one up. You know, press down, fill cap, squeeze container gel to load sponge with gel. Apply to tires by wiping or dabbing. Squeezing out more product as needed. Allow it to dry thoroughly 15 minutes before driving in order to prevent it from slinging. And, you know, over application may result in some slight sling of product. No, do not use on motorcycles, bicycles, blah, 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 other two-wheel vehicles. And it done sucked it up. So let's see what it does after it done, you know, sucked it up. Because it officially has completely sucked up my product. Oh yeah, it still, you know, squeezes out nicely. Now this is all you really do. This is how I apply it. It says, you know, you want to dab it. Dab, 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 dab. I don't dab. That's pointless to me. I squeegees it on there. You know, I want my product on my tires. I want my tires, like I said, look like they wet. So there we go. Some more. Put it right on there. Put it right on there. And bam. That's what we do. We go back to applying. Back to applying. You know, you want to smooth it on, get it on little dry areas and little nooks and crannies and all that good stuff. You know, you wanna get it on your tires, guys. It's tire shine. It's meant to be on the tires. You know, supposed to make them tires shine. Now, what I'll do is I'll do one coat all the way around the tire, which, you know, when I'm not joking around acting like a fool, is honestly sponge. Let's see, I might coat the sponge two times to get the first coat. And then what I'll do, you know, I'll leave this tire once I get enough on there and I think it's pretty darn good. You know, I'll spread it around like I am doing right now. You know, trying to focus more on getting the little corner in between the little tire or the little rim, the hub, or rim, whatever you want to call it. Rim, wheel, tire, you know, in between that little crease there. That little crease right there. Right there. And then I'll move to the next tire. You know, and that's first coat done for that tire. You know, get up. Towel down. Grab a little applicator sponge. Grab my tire wet. Stuff smells just like, man, it smells like black cherry, Doc. Like, you ever had that black cherry Coke? Dark cherry, black cherry Coke? Man, stuff smells wonderful. Now then, obviously, you know, at the next tire, once again, you get you some, you apply to your sponge there. You know, you want to pick it up, bring it over to the tire. You know, get on the tire, put it up against, and smooth it out. And that's a good example right there. There you go. What you want to do, smooth it out. Now, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to do the other 4 tires. Oh, there are 2 after this one. After this one. Then I'll be back with you guys. Alright guys, I'm back. Oh, let me just give my little final reviews. As you can see, I've already gone ahead. I put it back up. I honestly just put it back up the same way I took it out. No, put the bottle back in, and I put the applicator sponge back. I don't really wash it off or anything because, it goes on my tires. No, I'm not too concerned about, rocks and scratching up my tire. It's a tire. Not too concerned about that. But, I'm going to go ahead, put that up there with the rest of my little car stuff. And that's what I used last time. It doesn't give it a wet look like the tire, like the Black Magic does. But I will show you guys what it looks like the next time I do this to my cars. But, let me go back to the side. That way it's in the sun. That way you can see it glistening. Just hear that, hear that glistening. That car you just heard, I honestly don't know what that thing is. It's neighbor guy around the corner. He's got some real nice car, man. Been meaning to ask what it is. But anyway, well, this is it. This is the second coat, and this is what the wet looks like. It's a thick gel, guys. It's just that. It's going to make it look wet because it is a thick gel. Like I said, it smells great, man. It smells like cherries. Absolutely love this stuff. I basically get a contact high from smelling it. That's another shot, real wet. But what I recommend this for is I can see show cars. That's a good one. Show cars would actually use this tire shine. Because, let's face it, what is a show car? It doesn't really drive anywhere. So, you'll own a show car for like 16 years. It may have 1,000 miles on it, if that. Because, it's loaded up on a trailer every time it goes somewhere. And the only time it drives is when it's, driving up a ramp, down a ramp, or into a showroom. Which, a couple feet. But, you go to 16, 17 different car shows over the course of a year. I'm pretty sure you'll hit 1,000 miles or so. Hit 1,000 miles or so over a couple of years. But that's what I would say this is for. And recommended this for is obviously a show car. If you want, your show car to just look like the blackest tire possible, the wettest, blackest tire, and this is what you go for. And show cars would actually have the whole tire, even the tread, would be covered in that because they want it to look wet. They want it to look black. That's what they want it to look like because it doesn't drive anywhere. Obviously, you would not want your tread to have a slick gel coating on it. Clearly not. And then, that stuff in water, as soon as you drove through a puddle, boy, you just hydroplane like you ain't never seen. But you can use it on your daily driver. I'm not saying that. You see, this is my daily driver. This is my car. I drive it to work, from work, put gas in it, take gas out of it. I'm starting to get pollen all over the car, and I just washed it. Boy, spring finna suck. But, it's a real nice car, man. It's a real nice shine. Definitely gets done what it says it's gonna do. And I'm pretty sure if this was a show car, or even if you were just driving this around on the inner city, and you weren't, in the South, like me, where boom, dirt roads, puddles, potholes, beach, literally right around that corner, guys, is the beach. Like, I'm right there by it. And then have, variables like that to deal with. Even pollen. I'm pretty sure there's not too much pollen in big inner cities, New York, Atlanta, Chicago, maybe California somewhere. I don't know. Haven't been to any of those places except Atlanta. It's where I live at, so I know, well, that's where I lived at before I moved. But that's what you're going to get, guys. And I recommend it. I 100% recommend this. On a scale of 1 to 10, man, this thing's like a 12. Recommend it. It lasts. Like, even this coat here, even with all those variables I just threw into you, it's gonna last. It's gonna give me about 2 to 3 weeks before the sand and the dirt just completely basically dry it up and create a layer of dirt over that. And even the instructions, it said for the best results and less sling after you've applied it, let it sit for 15 minutes. Well, I did each tire one at a time, first coat, and it sat for about 5 minutes while I did each other tire. They all sat for about 5 minutes or so, 5 to 10 minutes. Then I came back over with a much lighter second coat, and this car is honestly about to sit here in its driveway until about 6 o'clock tonight, and it's 2 right now. So they're gonna have well past that 15-minute drying time. So, ultimately, guys, that's it. I recommend this. If you wanted, a nice wet tire shine to give you this dark black, like wet look, as you can clearly see even in the shade, you can see the reflection from this wetness off of this gel here. This is what I recommend. I don't say get the spray. Don't get the spray, because their spray honestly is gonna do just like Turtle Wax's spray. It's gonna go on. It's gonna leave a shine for about a week or two. You'll have you can clearly tell there's something on there, but it's not gonna be a wet look. This is a show car room wet look. Like, if I worked in a dealership and this was gonna be the car that was inside the on the selling floor, I'd want my detailing shop to put this on these tires. Make them tires pop. Attract people to this car. And nothing what's gonna attract you more than some shining tires. You walk into a room and you just see tires reflecting off your face. So I recommend these, guys. That's my ultimate conclusion. This was Tech Wave Reviews, guys. Check me out for the next video. You all have a wonderful day.